All right, welcome back into the Sports Drive, everyone. My first guest for today is Bushland High School baseball's head coach, Joel Love. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I mean, some beautiful weather outside. I'm sure you guys are taking full advantage of it. I mean, the past few week or so has been great weather for some baseball.
Absolutely. We don't get to take advantage of that very often in the Panhandle, so you better bottle it up when you get a chance.
I know, especially when it's not windy. I've spoke with many softball and baseball coaches already, and I can't imagine having to play in some of the extreme winds we have.
Absolutely. That's you always hear the song about Amarillo. It's the weather is nice, but and that always follows with the wind is always blowing. So take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Well, coach, I mean, so far this year, y'all are having an amazing season, already 13-3 before district play kicks off tomorrow. So, that non district schedule for you guys, only dropping 3 games there. What did you really kind of learn about your team, I guess you would say, in that non district schedule to prepare for district play?
Well, I'll tell you a couple of things that I was proud of. We're still pretty young. A lot of people don't realize that, but we only have one senior.
Hmm.
uh, in a team that returns a lot of kids, but they were all young last year too. So, I wanted to see how we respond with, playing up a lot of the time in classification, changing the lineup up some. But I'll tell you, they come to work every day, and regardless of who's in the other dugout, I just like the way we compete. And they get along so good. Their camaraderie their team chemistry is probably one of the highlights of the year so far. For being young, sometimes that can be tough, uh, but they've really done good on that end.
That's awesome. And the senior leader, who is that?
His name is Josh Bass, and he's yeah, I talked to him before the year. Being the lone senior, that can be a little intimidating in a way because he's not real vocal. But I tell you, his leadership is one of the reasons why we are where we are and have the opportunity to have the season that we hope we have is because of his leadership.
And then also just kind of looking here, I mean, he was district MVP last year. He's y'all's shortstop right there, all state as well. So, kind of what's his performance been like so far his senior year?
I mean, exactly what we expected.
Hmm.
Anytime you put him on the mound, he's going to have a chance to give you a chance to win. He's going to be around the zone. His effort is always, right where you want it to be. And like I said, his leadership, he's more of a lead by example guy, but he has been a little bit more vocal this year. And, we've needed that. And it's shown up in the younger guys in a big way.
And who are some of those younger guys that have really stepped up this year?
You have some of the returners. You have Cade Gavinia, also obviously having a good year, all around great player. You have Dawson Jaco, Cannon Melvin. Uh, you have some of the younger guys: Max Rodriguez, Jackson Fetch, Cole Warren, Brecken Adams. The list goes on. I don't want to leave anybody out, but you know the expectations are always high. 'Cause I think that's the only way you get things out of kids, and they've done nothing but you know what's best for our team.
And as you just kind of mentioned, expectations are high, especially when you're coming off a 23-3 season, 10-0, 10-0 in district play, district champs. Obviously, made it to the regional quarterfinals this year. So, how have you kind of seen with the team, especially that motivation being kept up into this season?
Well, that's one of the things I challenge them about. Sometimes having everybody back, so to speak, can be, I don't want to say a curse, but it can be a negative in ways because you kind of get complacent. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing that I'm most proud of is the fact that we have not been complacent all year. And they have that hunger and that look in their eye like they want to surpass where we were last year, especially knowing, we played fairly well even in the games that late in the playoffs when we got beat. We just didn't win, which okay, so I've been proud of the way they've approached this year with the mindset to leave their own legacy, even though they were young last year and almost every one of them were returners.
And then kind of looking, so I have the scores and stuff from the games already this year, just kind of pulled up here, just kind of looking. I mean, not many runs allowed from your team there. So, kind of explain to me just the performance you've seen from the mound this year.
Well, I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. We got into tournament season, and a guy I didn't mention earlier, Stratton Malloy. He hadn't pitched all year long. We get him in a tournament, and he goes out there and gives up like 1 or 2 runs, and one of those might have been unearned. And then you
Mhm.
also have those other guys that have experience. Another guy, Cole Warren, he's pitched more this year than he has in a long. Maybe he's a freshman last year, so he's done well. And obviously the mainstays with Dawson Jaco, Cannon Melvin, and Josh Bass. We really feel good about the arms. We're probably as deep. Man, I've been around Bushland baseball for a long time, and we're as deep, maybe deeper than we've been in a long time at that position. And obviously, that has a lot to do with giving up the least amount of runs that we have.
And then obviously, good pitching comes with a great defense to back it up. So, just kind of defensively, how have you seen the execution of your team so far?
For the most part, we've done exactly what we expect them to do. We're a little bit more athletic this year in some spots. So we've moved some guys around and maybe some positions that they didn't think they might play, but they want to be on the field, so they hadn't missed a beat in that area. In the games where we have given up, a few more runs than we like, the errors have, had a lot to do with that. But
Mhm.
we don't let it be. Usually, we don't. It hadn't been a deciding factor in the game, so I've been proud of that too.
And then just kind of looking again, I mean, you don't score 21 runs, 14, 16, 13 runs without being, exceptional in the batter's box as well. So, really, kind of what's been the focus and honing in on in practice, especially just in the batting cages, stepping up into the approach of that batter's box to have numbers like that so far this season?
Well, I'll tell you, our guys they take great pride, and one thing that gets overlooked about being in the batter's box is knowing the strike zone. I think our kids, top to bottom, every level, have a very good understanding of the strike zone. And when you can do that, usually you hit good pitches. And when they're not good pitches, then you get on base and walk. And that also creates base runners. And we feel like once we get on base, we have a really good chance to get you in. So, I mean, the buy-in, and you also have to have great effort. Sometimes you can hit the ball hard and hit it right at somebody, but are you going to give max effort to get on base? And our guys they're above average in that category, in my opinion. And I couldn't be more proud of that one thing alone, to be honest.
That's awesome, Coach. Well, district play, as we mentioned, starts tomorrow for you guys against River Road. So, just kind of scouting out River Road, what have you seen from the Wildcats?
I hadn't got to see him much. I mean, we've traveled so much this year. It's been hard to get eyes on anybody in our district. I did get a chance to see him once,
Hmm.
and same road. I mean, they got some quality arms. Their kids are going to play hard, and obviously it's a rivalry game. So you have to be prepared, no matter who you're playing in district. And that's one thing we stress to our kids a lot. Is it really doesn't matter who shows up in the other dugout. If we'll take care of ourselves, uh, I feel like we're always going to give ourselves a chance to win. Expectations are no different in district.
And then tomorrow, what will it take for your team to come out with the win and start district play 1-0?
All the things you mentioned, obviously a good performance on the mound by whoever we decide to pitch, getting on base and scoring more runs than the other team. It only takes one more run than the other team to win a game, and that's what we hope to do.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, again, thank you so much for joining us on the Sports Drive today. I'm sure you got some practice to get to preparing for the big district matchup starting tomorrow. But again, thank you and good luck tomorrow.
Man, thanks for having us on.
Of course. And we'll be right back on the Sports Drive.